Hi everyone, my name is Mahwish Rasool and I'm an architect and interior designer by profession. I'm in academia for the past 8 years and I'm currently heading the Department of Interior Architecture at Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture. My proposal for this conference is intended to be a contribution in the field of design education, practice and research by establishing the importance of adaptive reuse of city assets. The research was initially envisioned as a part of research project, then it was converted into an academic project and a studio project with the students of interior design, architecture, and also practitioners from the field of research, design, and adaptive reuse. The proposal is intended to be a contribution in the field of design education, practice, and research by establishing the needs of adaptive reuse of city assets and cultural assets. This research was initiated as a part of an academic exercise, then later on it was converted into a studio project, a design intervention in which practitioners, adaptive reuse experts, students and the future designers take part to complete this project. Now this proposal is in the second stage where we are involving the government and the city mayor to see this project as a potential revitalization project for the city of Karachi. This research is touching upon the potentials of adaptive reuse of historic city centers and how the abundant stock of buildings can be refunctioned to save them from the process of demolition and loss. So before going ahead with the research proposal and showing you about what kind of a work we are doing in this context, I would like the audience to see the rich context of Pakistan and also the rich historic character of the city Karachi. Karachi is the financial capital and the port city of Pakistan, and it's the 7th largest urban area in the world. It has a strategic importance due to its location. The city was established as a fortified village in 1729 called Karachi and gained prominence with the occupation of the Britishers. Karachi residents belong to different ethnicities, race, religion, making it Pakistan's most diverse and secular city. The Old Town and the quarters are established by the Britishers, and Karachi Old Quarters house beautiful heritage building of that time. Karachi used to have 18 districts as a union council before, but now it's been divided into 3 towns, which is the Old Town, the Downtown and the Uptown. The project proposal is situated in the Old Town, which is the Sadr Bazaar quarter in Karachi. With a traceable history that dates back more than a century and a half, the Sadr district was one of the most prominent cultural, communal and shopping hub of the city of Karachi. With numerous buildings that were constructed during the British Raj, Sadr retained its socio-economic value and flourished as a main market space for the city Karachi. The boundaries of Sadr Bazaar quarter lie between Abdullah Haroon Road on the west, Mansfield Street on the east, Preddy Street on the north. The total number of heritage buildings from Sadr Bazaar quarter as listed in 1997 by the Heritage Department of NAD University and given protection under Sindh Cultural Heritage and Preservation Act 1994 is 76 in total. During the resurvey, 72 more buildings have been identified as worthy of preservation and hereby are declared as protected heritage property under the same act. Thus, in all, the total number of listed properties in the quarter will become 148 buildings, including 2 open spaces, out of a total of 706 plots. Sadr Bazaar quarter defines the historic character of the city Karachi, and the proposal of the street is also on the Sadr Bazaar quarter. It's known as the Elphinstone Street and locally known as the Zebunissa Street. It's one of the most prominent marketplace and a shopping district for Karachi, and it still remains its character. Elphinstone Street is one of the oldest shopping districts in Sadr Quarters, Karachi, also known as the Karachi's Piccadilly Circus. It is lined with the historical colonial buildings from the British Raj era. In addition, consulates and hotels are also located on the street. It is one of the city's most vital arteries, spread across a kilometer, which connects it to Amijana and Sharai Faisal. The main buildings on the Elphinstone Street are the Nasawanji Building, Muhammad Ali Building, Old Alaku House, Victoria Furnishing Mart, and several other documented buildings by the Heritage Foundation and also by the NIT University Heritage Cell. Zibinissa Street has many old structures dating from the pre-independence British period, which are an important part of our city heritage. However, there is an enormous market pressure to tear down these historical structures due to its financial and economic feasibility. Many other buildings are substituted by modern structures, and one of such examples is the Atrium Mall, Karachi. The street has seen a smooth transition in the course of time from a colonial Camp Bazaar street to a postmodern commercial street of today. The street has successfully catered to all its users during the different periods. At present, the street is losing its previous glory as many important heritage buildings are left abandoned and they are in the process of decay and deterioration. Zibinissa Street is losing its historic character because of the market pressure, and a lot of people are moving out from that areas because of the market teardown pressure and also the economic viability of the city. The Karachi city, as it's the 7th largest metropolitan city in the world, it's growing day by day, and because of the population pressure as well. And one of the other reasons that the marketplace is losing its glory, it's because of the deteriorating condition of the heritage architecture. Secondly, with the shift in markets, many businesses also shifted to areas that seem to offer greater opportunities. Hence, the Zibinissa Street and the main artery of Sadr Bazaar district found itself in the middle of an utmost segment marketplace, where shops that remained and to be present day run only cater to small niche in a wide array of products, services, and the typology that exist. The Elphinstone Street project is envisioned to preserve the rich cultural assets of the city and to preserve it for the future generation. It also deals with the adaptive use of historical cultural presence and to utilize the abundant building stocks into functions and activities which can activate the historic present again. The proposal is segmented in 2 parts. The first part will review the literature on adaptive use and contemporary theories and the case studies within the discipline of architecture and interior design. The second part of the proposal will shed the light on the studio methodology, how it's conceived, how it was done, and the selected case study area and the proposal of Elphinstone Street, Southern in detail. The research is initiated as an investigated approach to review the historic core of Sadr, its importance in terms of physical, economic aspect of the city. The Adaptive Reuse Studio was envisioned as a part of interior design curriculum to bridge the gap between academia and practice. Furthermore, to expose the young designers with the heritage context of the city and enable them to understand the complex nature of heritage building and the potentials of design intervention they offer. Furthermore, by training the future designers to work in challenging and complex environments. The project aims to develop the conceptual and technical skills of students and to enhance their exposure working in a heritage precinct. Students were allotted a 0.5 kilometer stretch of Elphinstone Street to analyze the relationship of interior and exterior spaces within the urban context, and to propose a pedestrian street for recreation and commercial activity for the city. The intervention was proposed keeping in mind the diversity of city Karachi. The project was conceptualized in 4 stages, which includes research and documentation of Zebunisa Street and its old quarter to better understand the activity pattern and the potentials of the area and the existing land use. After a detailed research about the area, the process of documentation started with the help of the existing research document from the Heritage Department of NED University Department of Architecture and Planning, in which status of buildings, its old use, present situation was marked in detail. As it was done in 2008, a detailed building documentation drive was done again in 2018 and 2019, which marked the other details from the history and the status of vacant buildings occupied and also the demolished ones. Buildings were documented through various sources, and the locals were interviewed about their views of the street and the area and how it can be further improved. Photographic surveys were done to identify the conditions of buildings in detail. The building plans and details were digitized by the help of photographic surveys, as many building floors were badly damaged and access to the internal spaces were nearly impossible. The old and the new building street profile was done to understand the streetscape and how it can be further improved. The other important consideration was to move the clutter from the streets, like oversized signboards and encroached footpaths. After the project research and documentation, other fashion streets from the world were studied, like Oxford Street, Istiklal Street from Istanbul, and Fifth Avenue from New York, and many other streets, etc. To see and study their pattern of development and how heritage buildings were reused as fashion brands and other related typologies to study their dynamic character. The project focuses design intervention with the focus of commercial and hospitality design. The main idea is to enhance the visibility of the street and reclaim it as a fashion street, which houses major retail brands, food brands, public and entertainment zone. The first phase of design was to develop a master plan of the street to identify the activity potential across the 0.5 kilometer stretch of Zebunisa Street and also the parallel streets like Clark Street, Brady Street, etc. The street already have an active food street parallel to it, so it was proposed that Zebunisa Street should be proposed as a fashion and entertainment zone for the city of Karachi. After the detailed analysis of the street in terms of traffic routes, street furniture, landscape details, building heights, ratio of vacant and occupied buildings, the phase 2 of design intervention focus on how individual buildings and the typology it will be best suited for. After a detailed analysis of building heritage value, design interventions were proposed for 2nd degree, 3rd degree and 4th degree heritage buildings. Some of the proposals focuses on reviving the existing crafts and culture of Pakistan and propose stores and outlets of Pakistani produce. Some of the project focuses on bringing in famous international brands of clothing, apparel, shoe, watches, etc. and other related goods. The other important typology to keep the street active was to introduce entertainment activities like street theatre, indoor theatre, music museum, poetry museum to restore the rich poetry techniques from Hala Sindh and other parts of Pakistan. Both indoor and outdoor street theatres were proposed to utilize the historic facade of Muhammad Ali building as a backdrop of a street theatre. Designer boutique such as famous designers from Pakistan and from the Indo-Pak like Binto Kazmi bridal clothing store was also proposed. Concept store was proposed at the Lotia building as a multi-brand store which focuses on products according to the seasons and festivities. 2 spas and salons were proposed along the corridor which focuses on sustainable and organic products, keeping the theme of the project alive. Pakistan is well known for its arts, crafts and textiles and retail for handmade carpets, shawls and other handmade products but also proposed. Pakistan is also famous for its fruits, dry fruits and produce, and a concept store for organic nuts, honey and other items were also proposed. In buildings like Fazal Manzil, Old Alaku House, different restaurants and other entertainment activities were proposed. The restaurant design ranges from different cuisines, some focuses on Pakistan, street food and other restaurants were designed as a fusion restaurant promoting the rich context and culture of Pakistani cuisine. In all the above proposals, the idea was to activate and reuse the interior envelope of the building, and structure of the building was celebrated and restored to its original splendor. The main aim is to keep the heritage fabric alive and propose intervention which activates the historic present to its maximum potentials. Design education should embrace a new paradigm that values creative experience. It's not the need of the time, but also the complexity of the nature of design studio, that studio methodology also values creative experience for students. It should indulge them in creative thinking and design build projects. The new era is bringing vast technological advancements with multiple challenges in the field of design. As the world of design is getting connected, complexities in design problems are increasing at a rapid scale. Today, designers are facing multiple challenges and complex working environments. Similarly, discipline of design is living through extraordinary transformations, and interdisciplinary design pedagogy is one of the most imperative approaches from which one can create better opportunities and chances of success for the future designers. I would like to thank the team for its incredible opportunity to showcase the kind of a work we are doing in our part of the context. Thank you so much.